Welcome to Nature Therapy Online. Hello folks, and welcome to episode 26 of Nature Therapy Online. I'm Stephen McCabe. I'm an ecotherapist living in Scotland, and I'm coming to you from Midlothian here in my wee house where I'm sat with my dog in the attic today. So Yoro is next to me on the sofa. He's not digging today. Sometimes he likes to dig, so watch this space. I don't know why he likes to destroy my lovely sofa, but that's his favourite hobby and way of distracting me when I'm doing these podcasts. So if you're listening on Christmas Day 2020, then happy Christmas, and I hope that this is a nice one for you, despite the fact that it's in most places in the world quite a strange one. I'm not going to go over the whole obligatory COVID discussion about what a strange year it's been and how terrible it is, because I think we hear a lot of that everywhere all the time. So this is a break from all of that. I mean, you may be listening to this podcast sometime in the future. A lot of people listen retrospectively, so don't worry. You can have a happy Christmas even if it happens to be summer and you live somewhere else. No problem. And I'm also aware that I have a lot of listeners who don't celebrate Christmas. So have a happy day to you, my dear listeners. Whatever's going on for you right now. With it being this particular time of year, in the West at least, there are so many associations between season and celebration. And I wanted to pick up on that and discuss it a little bit. So I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this episode, other than just to explore that a little. Our associations between season and events, so if there are particular festivals or celebrations that happen at certain times of the year, how much do we associate them with the season so that they almost become part of the season in our minds. So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I was running an ecotherapy group yesterday. Socially distanced, thank you very much. I feel I always have to say that right now. And I invited the group just for us all to split up from the group for 10 minutes and to find something in nature that represented this time of year for them. And interestingly, everyone, including myself, went off and looked for things that reminded them of Christmas. And I deliberately, when I gave this invitation, used the phrase this time of year, so referring not specifically to Christmas or, to the festive period in general, but perhaps to the season, and weather and what nature's doing and all of those things. So we had quite an interesting discussion about that, about how we connect so deeply, or we focus so much on this this big cultural event that happens where I live in Scotland anyway. That sometimes we can almost put everything else in nature into the background and allow that to become everything. Even I pointed out, little fir trees that look like Christmas trees. That's what I found a little tree. That's what I was looking for. Although I was aware of this as I was doing it. But yeah, so I wondered, how this then feels when the festive period is over with, and all of a sudden we're left with the depths of winter. So a lot of the time, I think you can hear that a lot here in Scotland anyway, because you know, um, it is the darkest time of the year here. It's really dark. It maybe goes dark at 4 p.m. and you can wait at this. This morning I was waiting until almost 9 o'clock a.m. for the light to come. But somehow, I love the festivities of Christmas. I'm not a Christian, but I like the cultural event, despite all of the famous, you know, capitalist bonanza that we have, where we just, I feel sometimes just buy presents for the sake of it and spend too much money. I like the festivities of it. The, I like the sparkle and the excitement and and all of that. But then when it's all over with, I think sometimes, the winter can hit people quite hard here in Scotland, because all of a sudden, this, festive joy that we've created has just disappeared in the click of a finger almost. Once the new year is over with anyway, and then we're back to work, and we take down any lights that we've put up, and we kind of put the all the sparkly things away in boxes, the decorations, and very often in Scotland, that's when it snows. It often doesn't snow at Christmas. Then the snow comes, and it actually feels cold and hard and difficult for a lot of people. Um, I wonder how this feels for you, and I appreciate that this is not going to resonate with all of the listeners at all. I mean, I know I have listeners in India, and the vast majority of people don't even celebrate Christmas there. I have listeners in Australia, a lot of people do celebrate Christmas, but seasonally, it's completely different things going on there. There ain't no snow or dark nights there at this time of year in Australia. But still, I think it's very interesting to think about how our big festivals become associated with the seasons. And I think this applies wherever we live. So perhaps it's associated with the sunshine in Australia for you. You have summer memories. Perhaps in India with some of the huge cultural and religious festivals that go on there. I wonder if they become associated with the seasons. And yeah, as I say, I don't have a particular place where I want to go with this discussion, other than just to explore it and to think about it, and to recognize when those things can be positive and can feel good, and also when they can, feel like a struggle when they're over with. Um, I heard a really lovely thing, or I read it, I think, not so long ago. I think it was last year sometime, and it talked about how in the West we decorate Christmas trees with these colourful fairy lights, and it traced this back thousands and thousands of years to when our ancestors would try to reflect the sun onto trees and try to put sparkly things onto trees as a way to create a bit of light at the darkest time of year, to almost call back the light and to call back the spring, because it must have been a very scary thing to live in a time when you didn't necessarily know that the dark season was going to end. You know, how must that have felt to have watched all of the crops dry up, and for the the weather to get colder and food to become more scarce, and to think, is the spring ever going to come again? So these things that we do, and we sometimes don't question why we do them in cultural festivals, often relate directly to nature. And I wonder if you're listening to this at Christmas and you have some lights on your tree, if you have a tree, and you have some lights on it, I appreciate that not everyone does it. But even so, I think it's a really wonderful thing to reflect on. These things that we do in our cultural lives and in our festivals so often trace back their roots to nature, and so often the reason that we do so many of the things that we do is because of the seasons. It's not a coincidental thing. I think that's I found that a really beautiful thing when I heard of that. And sometimes when I look at my my tree, I do have a tree. It's terribly plastic. I have to be honest with you. I know that's not what you were expecting this ecotherapist to say, but I have a terrible plastic tree and a lot of colourful lights on it. Probably weren't expecting that either, but hey, we're not all perfect. But it's something I like to reflect on, where this comes from. And, I wonder if perhaps some more, snippets of info on this theme. And it doesn't have to just be around Christmas. It could be, other festivals, I don't know, Easter, uh, Hanukkah, Hindu festivals, Muslim festivals, any spiritual festivals, Buddhist festivals. If there are any small celebrations, any small cultural quirks, things that we do, and if you are able to trace them to seasonal activity. So that, is something you could try. Um, and something I would like to invite you to do, and to leave you with on this with this podcast is um, something that I tried this week as a small meditation with my Patreon group. So as you know, I have a small monthly. It's called Nature Chat. We just get together for half an hour once a month, and we tried it for the first time this month, and it was really nice. We each month have a discussion around a theme from nature, and it's just really relaxed. I will lead a small meditation, and then we will just chat on screen about the theme. And I decided to choose snow as a theme this month. So it's a very small group at the moment, and all of us live in the northern hemisphere. We were either in UK or USA, and I'm going to just lead some invitations to you, a small snow meditation, if you like. And it doesn't matter if you've um, don't have many memories of snow, or if you live in a country that is boiling hot at the moment. We all know what snow is, and we will all have some associations with them, even if they're not memories. Even if it's from films we've seen, or images from art, wherever it comes from. What are your associations with snow? That's what this meditation is about. So, wherever you are right now, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter if you're sitting down or lying down, or perhaps you're even, I don't know, chopping some vegetables and making some food, whatever you're doing, just take a moment to pay attention to your breath. Just take a few big deep breaths and put all of your focus there, and let the rest of the day just disappear for a moment. Maybe just take a moment to get in tune with your experience right now. So, how does your body feel right now? What's the temperature like on your skin? How does your skin feel? How about the sounds around you? What can you hear right now? Just pay attention to everything you can hear. And now I want you to just reflect for a moment on snow. What did your body feel like when I said the word snow? What images come to mind? What appears in your mind when you think about snow? Are there memories or images or sensations? And now, for a moment, I'd like you to just imagine your feet walking across fresh snow. The sound of your footwear making crunchy, satisfying sounds as you take each step through thick snow, maybe 5 or 10 inches high. You're wrapped up warm. There's just open, beautiful white landscape everywhere. And I want you to just walk into a happy memory of snow. Now, it doesn't matter if this is a real life memory, something that actually happened, or if perhaps it's a memory of a piece of art that you like, or an image that you like, or a story that you enjoyed that featured snow. Whatever this memory is, where however it comes to you, is totally fine. Just take 2 or 3 more of those crunchy snow steps into that memory and stay with a happy, satisfied feel. Stay there for a good 30 seconds to a minute. I'll leave you with that. Now I want you to just offer some gratitude to this memory, whatever it is and wherever it came from, and feel your body again and feel how your skin feels in the room, or perhaps you're outdoors, wherever you are at the moment. Allow yourself to come back into your body and hear the sounds around you, back from this tiny, mini little snow meditation we've done together. And I want you to hold this memory for today and reflect on any associations you have, whatever time of year it is that you're listening to this, and wherever you are in the world. Hold that comfortable association that you have with snow, however it came to you, and I'm going to leave you there for this week, folks. So it's been quite a variety of themes together that have all come in through seasonal associations, and here where I'm living, Christmas associations, snow, cold, all of these things. But yeah, just to reiterate again, I do appreciate this isn't how life is for all of my listeners, wherever you are right now. But all the same, I think it's sometimes really powerful to be able to reflect on different states of nature and of seasons. Wherever we are. I often do beach meditations in the winter as well. I find that can be a really positive thing, to get in tune with the nature that's living in our minds and in our memories. So I hope you've enjoyed it, folks, and I'd really like to hear your experiences on how you found today's episode. And as I always say, if you have any thoughts about the show, or anything, any ideas you have about things I could discuss on future episodes, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. And if you would like to become a patron of the podcast with a small monthly donation, and join in on our Nature Chat monthly events and get nature-based tarot readings in the mail, you can find out all about that at patreon.com/nature therapy online. So before I head off, for those of you who are listening at Christmas time, Merry Christmas, and I hope you're having a lovely day, whatever's going on for you. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and take care and have a lovely day and a lovely week, and bye-bye. Visit me online at naturetherapyonline.net.